about 1996, we got a call from a California magazine newsstand wholesaler. And the man on the other side of the country said, "We'd like to buy your magazine. We think we can sell it on the newsstand in California. It's not available." Veranda was launched as a Southern magazine. So we sent him 500 copies, and a month later, he called and said, "We'd like another 1,000 copies." And then a month later, we'd like another 2,000. A month later, another 4,000. And this scenario repeated itself on and on. A year later, whereas California in 1996 had 0 circulation, it was our #1 state in 1997. It was at that point that we decided, well, let's see, opportunity is knocking. Let's take Veranda national, which we did. Around the same time, because we were growing so fast, we would come out at the beginning of every year with an advertising rate, and because we were growing so fast, that rate was so obscenely antiquated by the middle of the year that we were losing money. And Lisa was just not sleeping and was worried sick about how she was going to pay the next printing bill. Keep in mind now, this magazine is owned and operated by a single person. And I said to Lisa, you know, we can save money by going to a lesser paper stock. And she said, oh yes, we could do that, but then I wouldn't be able to sign my name to it. And it was at that point that I knew that Veranda was going to be a great success. And indeed, the magazine did continue to grow. We became a national magazine and even an international publication. Lisa insisted on nothing but the best in the houses that she chose, in the way she laid every house out in the magazine, nothing but the best photography, great printing, fantastic paper, and we still use that great paper. We're one of the few that do. She realized her dream, and by the way, we were, during the 1990s, this magazine, because of Lisa, grew faster than any other magazine in the home category. It was in 2002 that she realized her dream of selling the magazine to a major publisher, and by then, every single major publisher had come knocking on our door to buy this magazine. She ended up selling the magazine for $40 million to Hearst Magazines in New York, and she is still editor-in-chief today. And she is still doing a great job. And that's a story of inspiration that I think we can all use. Now, the other part of my little presentation here has to do with the magazine industry in general. We're going through a hard time, as I'm sure everybody here knows, just like everybody else. I'm sure that everybody is having a tough time right now. And we hear, is the internet going to take over magazines? Are they going to go by the wayside? They leave a huge carbon footprint. Surely magazines are on the way out. No, magazines are not on the way out. They will never be on the way out, not as long as you and I like to sit there holding that entity in our hands, and its portability, its look, its feel, it's the quality of the photography. You can't achieve that on a computer screen. You hear about, oh my God, Domino's gone out of business, Cottage Living, Country Home, all these other magazines. But there are more than 4,000 magazines that you can purchase on the newsstand today. And we hear about all of this bad news because 20 or so magazines have gone out of business. Well, if the truth be known, another 20 should go out of business, and then another 20 after that. Because frankly, there are too many magazines out there and the market just can't sustain it. But the magazine industry as a whole is intact, and it will continue to supply us with great looking articles, whatever your bent is. The news industry The news weeklies they're pretty much history because the internet is a much better means of giving people general news. But magazines with specific content will always be around, and even though this industry is going through a tough time right now, it will continue to stay in business and thrive, and Veranda in particular. Thank you.
So obviously, keep submitting your projects for editorial consideration to Veranda and all the other publications out there. You know, at the end of the day, even though they're proposing internet access on planes, I still think that you're going to still want the tangible feel of something like a publication. And other statistics that I've read, aside from what Sims has suggested, is that they will be around for the long term. So there's an industry that is certainly being affected by the economy, but that still has a long-term perspective, and that's what we need.